So guys, how about we make a shop? We haven't done that yet, right? Let's make a shop.
Okay, and we need a way to get to our shop that we created. So we're going to go back to our fire fort and make a little trail that goes up here.
Okay. So make a new map, and we will call this map shop, I guess. Probably be good, right? And we should probably change our map properties to some sort of village. Forest town? Yeah, we're going to go with a forest town. Okay. Quickly build this little guy. Oh, we don't want that many. I'm going to go ahead and just go here and steal this, copy, and put this here. We're going to have to change the transfer. And new map, inside, shop. Forest town in. In there. Okay, fine. So here's our guy, our shopkeeper. This lady, sure. Leave her there for a minute. Let's switch over this. I want it to be in here. Okay. Okay. And so this is where you would go up to them and you can buy stuff. So, oh, right here. Shop processing is where you go. You can add any of these goods you want. So you can have potions for sale. You can have perfumes for sale. You choose what you want to sell here. Now, if you're wondering, oops, I never actually said okay to these things, huh? So these are the only two things you can buy in the shop because that's all I put. But you can do the whole shebang and you can do whatever you want. If you're wondering how you fix the prices and such, you would go into your database, and that's where all your items are housed and all the information about your your items. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory. So you got the name of the item, what it looks like, the description. The scope means like what it's going to hit. So you could do, you know, this, when you use a potion, you're only going to use it on one person. You could make it so that when you use a potion, it benefits all of them. So like these are your parameters of that, or even the enemy. Or only the user. So I mean, that's what this item will be used on. So if you did the user, that means in battle when you're fighting, if you use the potion, you can only use it on you. You can't choose someone else to use it on. I'm not sure. I wish I could tell you why these two are on here. I'm thinking that this means you can use it on any ally that's at 0 HP, or you can use it on all allies that are currently at 0 HP hit points. So I'm guessing that's the difference between this, is this will be used on everyone at once, no matter what their HP. This one is dictating that only if they have 0 HP that it'll get used on them, I'm guessing. Oops. The occasion. So when can you use this potion? Can you use it anytime you want? Can you use it only in battle? Can you use it only from the menu and not during battle? Can you never use it? The never being used would probably be something like for our earth and water crystal. Our crystals that we're finding, we're not going to actually have any properties of using them, so I guess you maybe say never on those. Let's see. User animation. This is what it will look like in battle when you use it. It might also work in the game. I haven't actually tried that, now that I think about it. I don't think it does, though. I think this will be, the user animation's only going to work in battle. Hold on a second. So again, this is in battle, I'm pretty sure. So your user animation is the person who is currently up to fight, and you say, I want to use the item. This animation is going to be for them to use it, and then the target animation is like, let's say your party member Joe, you're going to use it on them. They're the target animation. They're going to show this animation. You are the user. You're going to do this animation, if that makes sense, hopefully. And then the SE is the sound effect that's played when this gets used. Common event. So in here, you'll see that there's something called common events. These are events that are common. I know, real crazy name. So if you wanted to, every time you used a potion, you wanted something else to happen at the same time, I don't know what it would be, but for fun's sake, every time you used it, it turned on maybe a switch of some sort or something. That's where you would do it here. You could come up with a new name. I'm just going to make something up really quick. Switch, and the trigger is going to be a parallel process, and it will turn on whatever switch you want. Like, I don't know, any of these, or make up one. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And then you would just link it to this, so that every time I use a potion, this common event also happens. Or you, yeah, it's basically turning on, I don't know how to explain it. It's just making an event that's going to attach to other things. You can attach these common events to many different things. Like if you wanted them to, every time you use a potion, say, "You're awesome." So I'm going to say that if you, okay, so there you go. You don't have to have a conditional switch. You would do this in the case of, let's say you were, you use it, you want, once you get to a certain level or something, you turn on a switch, okay? And we'll call that switch the awesome switch level. So you would change, so that way this, your awesome thing would only happen, even though I've attached this to this item, once you got to awesome switch level. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. But for right now, we have it set so that it would be, you know, switch would be the common event, and then it would say, you're awesome every time you use that item. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at explaining things. Aren't you glad that you're watching tutorials by me? And let me think. Price, okay, we went over that. Consumable, can you eat it or take it, rather? It's hit on no. You'd think it'd say yes. I wonder, is there anything that's consumable? Yeah, it is supposed to be. I think I may have accidentally said. Parameter, I think, let's see. I've never had to use this either. Type of parameter that can be increased infinitely. Okay. So is this going to change when you take this? Will it like increase your max HP or your strength or your dexterity? So I'll show you another thing that probably does one of these seeds, like seed of strength, okay? It's going to affect your strength, and by 5, this might be a percentage. Hold on. Value of perimeter. No, maybe it does increases it by 5. I'm not sure if that's a percent or if it's just increasing it by 5, but that would be my guess. Let's look here. Recovery percent, HP percentage. So you can either choose to like heal by 50%, or you could pick a value, which is what they did here, 500. Same thing with recovering SP, which is like your spell crafting or your special movements or whatever. So you could you would see that in maybe Elixir does that. What would do that? I'm sure they have something out here for that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Interesting. At any rate. Oh, here we go. So perfume apparently does. Perfume is the one that fixes your SP. Hit rate. That's how likely it is to work. So if you take this potion right now at 100%, it's going to work. If I wanted to make it, sometimes it doesn't work, you could change that. So like you could make it 50-50 by putting in 50. It only works 25% of the time. It only works 75% of the time, whatever you want. At least that's what I think it's. Success rate, yep. I don't know what any of these ones are. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Coefficient indicating how much the target's physical defense influences the effects. Okay. Yeah, that's getting way more advanced than I'm probably ever going to get. I'm sure there's tutorials out there that will explain all of this to you beautifully. And maybe eventually I will search for them and put links in there for you for those that are taking this little introductory level class. And then your element and state changes, I believe. Let me see if anything has anything in here. I think that is for... Okay, so yes. So like your resist stone here, they checked resist because now it's making it so that it's changing your state. And I would say that this probably the element. You can click on it. Let's see what it says. Set the elemental attributes for this item. The effect strength varies according to the target's strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, so I think like what I was trying to explain before is that the item itself will have these kind of powers associated with it. If you know the answer to this, please feel free to comment below. Thank you. If you want to make them, we've made them before. We made these guys down here. So back here, like I said, you can pick your things you want in your shop and your character will be able to buy them. Make sure that your character is able to gain money or they're not going to be able to buy anything. So make sure when you're setting up your troops and your enemies that you are making them gain gold. So in your enemies, always make sure you're giving them, some sort of money to win. Same thing with experience points. You want your characters to be able to level up. The stronger the monster, probably the more gold and experience, I would think. And that's about it. So that's your shop tutorial. I know it's not the most informative, but it at least can get you started. And that's what this whole tutorial is about.